It happened. The mountain opened, not slowly, not gently. It opened like a wound. Fire rose into the sky. Ash covered the sun. The ground shook so hard that cities forgot their own shape. And then, silence. The explosion is not the ending. The silence is. A city can survive an army, but when the sky itself turns against you, there is nowhere to negotiate. You cannot bribe ash. You cannot argue with lava. You cannot ask fire to wait until morning. Some were buried in a single afternoon. Some were starved slowly under a dead sky. The ash remembered them better than the world did. Before the island exploded, it was beautiful. At Akrotiri, people lived with color around them. Painted walls, storage jars, ships, ordinary rooms. Then the earth started warning them. Small earthquakes, cracks, dust. The people seemed to have left no piles of bodies, just a city emptied before the end. Then the volcano erupted like a world breaking. Tsunamis crossed the water. Coasts were struck. Trade routes were shaken. Maybe Thera did not kill the Minoan world by itself, but it wounded the system. Pompeii did not know it was living beside a loaded weapon. Normal life, bread in ovens, graffiti on walls, people buying, laughing, praying. Then Vesuvius opened. First came the column. Ash began falling. Soft at first, then heavier. The city became a trap, made of its own houses. Herculaneum died differently. Faster, hotter, a pyroclastic surge like a burning ocean. Pompeii and Herculaneum were paused. Bread, paint, bodies, fear sealed under ash. Before Pompeii, Vesuvius had already done it once. The Avellino eruption struck villages, fields, animals, families. Then the sky began to fall. Pumice, ash, hot flows. We know they ran because their footprints remained. At Nola, homes were preserved under eruption deposits. The people walked away. The ash kept the village. In what is now El Salvador, the volcano erased a region. Tierra Blanca Joven, young white earth spreading over the land like a sheet over a body. The Maya communities had no modern warning system, only signs. Pyroclastic currents moved outward, hot, fast, unbreathable. Villages disappeared, fields vanished, water sources were damaged. It did not erase all Maya civilization, it erased local worlds. For centuries, people did not know which volcano had done it. Something enormous had erupted in the 13th century, but the mountain was missing. Researchers traced it to Samalas on Lombok. The 1 through 57 eruption was colossal. Ash, gas, pyroclastic flows, caldera collapse. Pompeii, a capital, disappeared from the historical record. Its aerosols rose into the atmosphere. Cold years followed far away. A mountain can die in one place, and hunger can appear in another. Tambora did not erase one city. It touched the whole world. In 1815, on Sumbawa, the mountain erupted with almost unimaginable violence. The sound was heard far away. People thought it was cannon fire. Villages were buried. Crops died. People starved. The next year became the year without a summer. Europe, North America, Asia, harvests came wrong. Civilization depends on thin things, warmth, rain, a predictable sun. Long before written Japanese history, southern Kyushu had a world of its own. Then the Kikai caldera erupted. Ash spread across Japan. Vegetation changed. Landscapes were damaged. Food sources collapsed. The forest no longer smelled like forest. The Jomon did not vanish everywhere, but in the south, the eruption broke continuity. Sometimes the mountain only needs to make the old way impossible. In the north, snow was already part of life, but ash is different. White River ash came from Mount Churchill in what is now Alaska. Ash crossed huge parts of Yukon and surrounding regions. It changed plants, water, animal movement, and trusted paths. A path was not just a path, it was survival. A thin, pale line in the earth says, something happened here. Aniakchak is not a famous name, it should be. Around the 2nd millennium BCE, the volcano produced a massive caldera-forming eruption. For the people there, it was the end of familiar ground. Every ridge, river bend, animal trail, and campsite became uncertain. Small mobile communities did not leave marble temples, but their worlds were not smaller. Sometimes erasure looks like a gap, a movement, an absence. Before Crater Lake, there was a mountain, Mount Mazama. Around 7,700 years ago, Mazama released an enormous eruption. So much material came out that the summit collapsed. A lake did not simply appear, a mountain died. Stories connected to this place carried memory across generations. Mazama erased a mountain, but created a sacred lake. Sometimes the most peaceful place is violence after it has cooled. It happened. The mountain opened, the sky went dark. People ran, some escaped, some did not. Some rebuilt, some disappeared. Volcanoes do not destroy like armies. Armies want surrender. Volcanoes want nothing. The ground is not still. The sky is not guaranteed. Civilization is not as solid as it feels. A market can be full in the morning, and by night everything can be gray. Sometimes history is made by a mountain that waited and waited and waited, and until one day it spoke. It happened to all of them. It can happen again.